does kind of take out that entire team. I mean, the team is based around Urgot. You have a tanky team, but you need that tanky DPS. You can run tanky teams with champions like Corki, to have that backline damage. But Urgot really makes a lot of that team. So we'll see what Curse ends up bringing out now. Curse actually banning it out, so they didn't want Dynamic to have it. Dynamic is first pick. Zig does play Urgot a lot.
Yes.
Dynamic would run basically the same exact comp that Curse just ran.
Yep. So with the Morgana ban, that does leave Karthus open here.
It also leaves Nocturne or Riven open.
It leaves Nocturne open, it leaves Riven open. Alistar's not going to be a factor here. So there's 3 champs that have not been banned from last time. Nocturne, definitely good. There you go. Hey, Nocturne, yeah, why not? Why not? Well, he's pretty good for a first pick, and he's pretty aggressive in the jungle as well. Those ganks can be absolutely devastating, especially once he hits 6. But now's an option. Curse, they've got some options.
Yep. So Nocturne standard OP pick. That sounds fine. Clear out the dragon. Clear out the Baron.
Yep. A lot of dragon control on him. Also would be actually it would be pretty good if Dynamic can also pick up someone like Cassiopeia for that really quick dragon control, really quick objective control. Go for that type of play that they really enjoy doing, going for quick barons, things like that. That can really help.
Yeah, and Curse just going to go ahead and pick the jungler and support. So actually, I really like that they go with Nunu a lot of these games that we've seen now. Nunu is probably their #1 support that I've seen recently. They just play a lot of Nunu, and Nunu wins bot lane so easily. Nunu was buffed a little bit, so that's always a nice thing. He was already a very strong support. Just the fact that you can play kind of defensively for a second. At some point in time, you're just easily going to win any 2v2 matchup when you have a Nunu on your team. And then later in the game, the late game potential is just massive. Shyvana, isn't a counterable jungle. They already have Nocturne, so, both of them are very fast junglers. Shyvana, the nice thing with Shyvana versus the Nocturne is, as we've seen, St. Vicious, he's all over the map. He's everywhere, basically. And with that movement speed, he can anticipate the ganks from Nintendude. And, when Nintendude goes to a lane, St. Vicious, he'll likely already be there.
You got the Corki. I'd like to see a Soraka with this as well. That'd be a fantastic bot lane.
Yep. Yeah, no, Corki Soraka is a very common lane. They could also go with someone like Taric. The issue is if they go with Taric, then that means they're looking for a little bit more killing potential, which would work with Nocturne. So the Taric would set up the Nocturne ultimates if they decide to go for kills in the bottom lane. Blitzcrank as well does the exact same thing, except he's a little bit more aggressive. So that works fine for them. They can get that pull. It is going to be kind of an issue if you can't burst people down. But Corki actually has a little bit more sustained damage than Graves does. So Graves, he has the quick initial AoE burst, but Corki having that follow up, just constant spam is really nice.
So still got the AD carry to be picked on for Curse. They could I don't know. They could go with an Ezreal something. Oh, hey, there he is. There's Ezreal. I was looking down. I was like, hey, Ezreal. Look up. Hey, it's an Ezreal.
Yep. No, I mean, it's pretty standard. They had run Ezreal Nunu a number of times before, and it's a very safe lane. So they know that, all right, Corki and Blitzcrank, that's an aggressive lane. Well, all right, well, we don't want to get caught and die, so all right, we'll pick an Ezreal. It just makes sense. It's a nice, safe lane. Now, who do they have? Morgana is banned. They could go with the Karthus. I doubt it. I don't think we're going to see a Karthus in this game. The initiation from Nocturne coupled with, the quick burst damage and everything that Dynamic has, it'd be kind of dangerous. They could go with like a Rise. Would be nice. Twisted Fate. Oh,
Karthus.
No, Karthus. All right.
I think Karthus. Yeah. I mean, Karthus still works here because there are just gonna be opportunities for. Whoa. Okay, these are trolling. They're trolling us now.
I mean, Karthus. Karthus is a very strong champion, and Karthus works very well against the types of teams that Dynamic usually runs, which is those close-range teams. The issue is that they're going to be able to burst down Karthus very much, and Karthus's late game is going to be very awesome. I mean, late game, he's just going to have so much damage over fights that they're going to have to worry about Karthus, and if they're focusing Karthus, they're going to be standing in the Nunu ult, and Shyvana can pull people off of Karthus, and then Ezreal's going to be free to do things, and if Karthus gets people low, then Ezreal can, just clean up and kill everybody. But the issue is, if they do pick someone like Ahri definitely makes a lot of sense. Ahri coupled with Nocturne, they can burst people down really quickly, and I actually like the Vladimir pick, so I hope they go stick with that, because if they don't pick the Vladimir, then Curse, they could very easily, and Vladimir with Curse's team comp would work very well right now.
I mean, I could actually expect to see, I'd actually like to see a Kennen on Curse here too, because this is a very big close-range AoE team as well. Karthus in the middle of everything, you can just go ahead, suicide him in. Kennen can do tons of damage. Nunu on top of it, Kennen ult would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Kennen definitely would work very well. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see an Aurelia from Curse now against the Vladimir, because it is one of the most common matchups, having the Aurelia versus the Vladimir. But we'll have to see. I think the Kennen does make sense, but what you want is people that can shut down Ari, and Aurelia can do that a little bit more easily than Kennen can. So there it goes, Aurelia pick. So when Ari comes in fights and tries to burst people down or tries to get in and out of fights, Kennen has the quick dash. Will be able to stun her, and then all of a sudden, Curse, they can kill Ari and win fights that way. So that's where that strength comes in. They do have really nice, AoE control, both teams. If Dynamic had let Curse have the Vladimir Karthus combo is a really common combo, and it would be a lot of AoE damage. And, regardless of if they killed Karthus and Vladimir, all of Dynamic would be extremely low, and they would have to deal with Ezreal, and Ezreal can just pick up, kills left and right. So Ezreal's very, strong as a finisher. So, picks definitely make sense. Really strong teams from both teams. We'll see how this kind of works out. Dynamic has a little bit more mobility. Shyvana, has a lot of mobility, counters that out a little bit.
Yeah.
But if Ari can get going, and particularly get going in that mid lane against Karthus, that could work out well for Dynamic. And then they have the Vladimir for the sustained damage, and Corki as well.
But if Karthus does get the necessary farm, he can be a huge part in the later team fights. Ezreal with the Nunu, saw it previously from MTW in the previous match. It worked out pretty well for them. And you also saw last match, the Shyvana in the jungle from Curse, St. Vicious. That's his bread and butter. That's what he knows. That's what he's familiar with, and it works out really well for him.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works. I think, we saw it in the last game too. So, Dynamic picking it up in that last game.
Yep.
They weren't able to succeed with it, but it's a really strong combo. It's very strong in the bottom lane. It's very tough to beat an Ezreal Nunu combo. And then, in team fights, it is going to be very strong. So we'll have to see how things work. Aurelia versus Vladimir lane, it's a very common lane. You see it all the time. And it's the fact that Vladimir has, the slight early advantage with the ranged harass. And then later on, will get lots of nice sustain and has great sustain damage. But Aurelia, after a couple of levels, particularly once she hits like level 6, has a lot of burst damage. And Aurelia can itemize into some MR items, maybe get a Hex Tech, maybe get a Hex Drinker, maybe get a Wit's End. And then that burst damage from Aurelia, you try and get kills on Vladimir. So it's sustain versus burst damage. Aurelia still has some sustain of her own that helps keep her high against Vladimir, but that's kind of what the matchup entails. And Karthus, just looking to farm.
Yeah, but a quick gank on top lane too from Shyvana could just completely start to swing the lane into Aurelia's favor as well. Just start denying Zion Spartan super hardcore, because Vlad, again, he needs that farm. He really needs that farm in order to be effective. He needs his damage. He needs to be able to stick in those team fights. He needs to be pretty sustaining as well. If he's shut down very early on, that minimizes his damage in team fights. It minimizes his damage in lane immensely. He is a very farm-dependent champ.
Well, Aurelia is one of the best champions at comboing with the gank too. So, if you can hit Vladimir before he gets his pull, or even after he gets his pull, you kill him after he gets out of it.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash. He's got Ghost.
So that's very common, as well, and that is kind of a nice thing to help get him out of Aurelia when she's trying to chase him down. Flash won't do that much, because then she's just going to wait a second and then jump back onto you. But if Aurelia can jump in, get the Equilibrium Strike, either get the slow or the stun, St. Vicious is going to have enough follow-up damage with that fast red. So we'll see how that works. Dynamic probably going to be looking for an invade, so they have a very strong level 1 team. Curse's level 1 team is okay. They have decent damage, but they have a very defensive level 1 team. So if Dynamic walks into the wrong bush, Curse could potentially, burst them down really quickly with Karthus and Ezreal throwing off some damage, and then the AoE from St. Vicious, as we had seen in the previous game with that Jax St. Vicious combo at level 1. But we'll have to see. I think Curse will probably play defensively here and allow Dynamic to basically have whatever they want.
But then again, Dynamic, you saw what happened game 1. The invade didn't really do a whole lot for Dynamic. They may be a little bit paranoid too. They may just want to be looking to play it safe here as well.
Yeah, no, that's true. I just think when you have a Blitzcrank and an Ari and then Corki for the vision. So they didn't have a Corki game 1.
No,
Corki, with the Phosphorus Bomb, he can check those bushes for them. They have the AoE damage. It's just a really nice lineup. They could sit back and play defensively. They could, with the fear of the early aggression in Curse, It will allow them to be a little bit more aggressive with Nocturne's jungling paths if he wants to go in and try and invade the red, but it'll also allow Blitz and Corki to feel safe when they're going for the blues or the mini golems, so they can get the mini golems very easily, then head into bottom lane, have that quick level 2 pressure.
Oh, I haven't seen the Foxfire Ari skin yet. That thing just came out too, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was just like 2 days ago or something.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen it yet. This is gonna be exciting. Yeah, I promised myself I wouldn't go crazy over skins.
I personally thought that this match was going to be terrible until I saw the skin.
There you go.
Once
See?
I saw the skin, it was okay. It was saved.
Well, skin after you overlay. What is our nice? Not too shy. Oh, nice. And like when she stops, the tail's just fire. That's pretty sick, actually.
It has a little fox on the end of it too.
Oh, neat. I like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's not. I'm not gonna freak out about skins anymore. I promise. Actually, no, it's a lie.
The Blitzcrank, he starts off with the boots, so it is kind of likely for him to go for an early invade. Curse moving up into the mid lane, so that cuts off this invasion path coming right into the river here. So that's a nice thing. It kind of protects you a little bit from your blue. It sometimes draws the enemy out into the open, so you get a better idea of where they're going.
Yep. So Dynamic, they're pretty spread out. Pretty much nearly every entrance to their jungle, they're looking for the defensive setup. But at Curse, they're sticking around their own part of the jungle as well. So both teams looking to be pretty defensive right now at the moment. Dynamic, they know what happened last game. It's still fresh in their minds. Curse is what they just want to go ahead and secure their own stuff at the moment. So right now, yeah, not really going to be looking for a level 1 here.
Yeah, so they are going to be safe. They're going to be able to just sit back. Nintendude is going to be able to grab his blue. The ward from Curse, it does protect and invade against their red, so they do kind of have that vision there. We'll see if St. Vish is actually going to start at the red. So he could start Wraiths and then get the red, and like we talked about, have that quick level 2 gank right up in that top lane.
Yep.
Try and shut down Zion Spartan early on, but I would kind of expect Nintendude to do almost the exact same thing. So starting off with his wolves, and then just kind of hanging out in the top bushes to see if he can, spot St. Vicious coming up and protect Vladimir.
Yeah, just being there, camped out. However, we'll have the blue buff. St. Vicious will have the red. So if St. Vicious does actually get in on something, it could definitely set up for the kill. But meanwhile, bot lane, you also got Pixel and Zig taking out the small homes. Unfortunately, it does reset. But still, those Zig should be able to take that with semi-ease. It will be a little bit weak going into lane, but we'll have the XP lead. We'll have a gold lead going on in. And here you go, Zion Spartan pushing on in just a little. He's keeping the creeps. He doesn't really want to be too aggressive here because he knows there is a threat for the level 2. He's sitting back just a little bit. He's not getting too overzealous, so very well done. Grab from Pixel, not going to be getting anything.
He's kind of moving a little bit forward, and if Saint needs to make his move, he needs to make it quickly because he is about
there
to
you go, Zion Spartan. He's not in the best shape right now. He's behind all those minions, but there you go. He backs off. I think that may be an opportunity lost, but they may also just be looking to bait him out. It's like the longer Zion. There you go. St. Vicious moving on, and Zion Spartan. Nope, nothing's going to happen. No ghost burned. A little bit of a misstep there from St. Vicious.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for Aurelia to hit 2, and then hoping if Vladimir was kind of zoned from Aurelia, that Aurelia would hit 2 first and then be able to Blade Surge and then Equilibrium Strike. But Zion Spartan actually hit 2 before Aurelia because Westrice, he wasn't killing any of the minions. He wasn't pushing at all. So as a result, Zion Spartan was very safe in that lane. St. Vicious just wasting a little bit of time. Nocturne just heading straight on down to his red, so he does have a little bit of an advantage there.
So should be able to finish red before Shyvana actually ever does make it down to the blue. You also got bot lane for Dynamic is actually pushing up pretty far too. They're really getting aggressive onto Ezreal and onto Nunu. They just want to push the tower. Just want to make sure the tower denies all those creeps. And they also want to set up a positioning for themselves. Pixel can just go ahead, camp out in that top brush. And if Curse decides to get a little bit cheeky, they can just go ahead for a quick grab. But there is an invade coming in from Dynamic onto the blue. Everyone is here. Everyone is present. But there was a ward by Curse in the bot river. So they do have an idea where Dynamic is right now, but they're not going to press the issue.
Yeah, and St. Vicious he was at about half. He probably could have taken the blue, but recognizing, okay, everyone's missing, everyone's heading towards the blue, we're not going to contest it, so I'm just going to go ahead and back. Right decision, but it does give Dynamic a nice little advantage early in the game.
Yep.
We'll have to see how that kind of progresses, but
Paradoxical, though, in the mid with the enemy blue. That's going to be huge against Nijaki.
Well, it also gives him the experience, so he's going to hit level 6 before Nijaki will. Actually, Nijaki a little bit ahead, but Paradoxical has this huge wave pushing into him. So he is going to hit 6 most likely before Nijaki will, and that's going to open up an opportunity. If he and Nintendo hit 6 before Karthus does, then they could easily dive it. Even if Karthus is 6, they could easily dive it and just kill him very easily. So they're going to have to watch out for that once the game progresses like another minute or 2.
Pixel looking to zone out Ezreal Nunu bot too. Like the ward is in the bush. He's being actively spotted, but just the constant movement, the huge threat of the grab onto Cop or onto Elements is a very, very real threat. One grab could mean a huge chunk of damage off either one of them.
Yeah, and so Ezreal, despite the fact that Corki Blitzcrank is a very strong lane, Ezreal can farm against anything basically, so they know he's going to be pretty safe. They're not really looking to get kills, they're just looking to push him into the tower for the most part, trying to nice some farm that way. Nocturne is coming up into this top lane, so I think mostly trying to defend against St. Vicious coming in, because West Rice right now should be pretty safe, because Zion Spartan's pushing into the tower, so he can just farm underneath the tower.
And Zion Spartan actually with a pretty decent farm lead as well, actually. Got about 13 creeps up on Aurelia right now. Granted, that wave is there, but the tower is denying some of it. So there's going to be plenty of time for him to go back. Got 2 tomes, doesn't quite have the revolver yet, and Nintended with a nice steal of the Blue Wraith.
Yeah, so just a little drive-by steal. He's able to get that out of there. Paradoxical is 6, though, so Nijaki does have to watch out. He's kind of low health there. Ooh, the quick burst. Paradoxical could go in for it, so St. Vicious is going to have to watch mid right now. Yeah,
but St. Vicious is only level 4. Can only do so much, but then again, under tower, that is always a huge threat. There's also a little bit risky, too, to make a dive at this point. Nice charm going in from Paradoxical. Does not really make anything else of it. But, yeah, Nijaki is not in the greatest spot right now, but he is 6. He does have the ult, so if someone from another lane does get low, he could just go ahead and laser from orbit. There is some damage top lane going down on Zion Spartan. West Rice trying to show his muscle, trying to muscle him out of there.
Yeah, so it is sort of the point where Aurelia can start bullying around Vladimir. And Vladimir, will be able to farm pretty defensively, but does have to worry about the fact that Aurelia has that burst damage. And we'll see. I think once Nocturne hits 6, that's when we'll see a dive onto Karthus. They do have to watch out for the wall, and that they don't take too much tower or damage under tower, which can be very easy when you have that Karthus wall to slow you down. So we'll have to see. St. Vicious probably going to jungle the, his top jungle is up, so that's nice because he can jungle the top jungle and then still focus on the mid lane and not allow them to get a free kill on Karthus.
And Nijaki, considering being pushed to tower for pretty much most of that early laning phase, is actually doing pretty damn good in farm. He's not really very far behind at all, but you do see Paradoxical does bite a lucky pick. DFG more than likely going to be built in the future, but just not for a while. But still, that's a GP10. That's in mid. You're looking to snowball later on, and that's also just a little bit of bonus AP there as well. Ward going down near the red. St. Vicious knows someone's nearby. It isn't intended, but I don't think he's actually going to be going in for it. There's Nijaki tries to say something about it. The fear tethers do not hit Nijaki. He does flash over the wall. They do break.
Yeah, and if he didn't get that flash, then he was going down pretty quickly. So, he is able to get out of there. Nice job. Paradoxical can now come and get their own blues, so just constant blues. He can constantly push Karthus underneath the tower, and we'll have to see. Nocturne, he is almost done the wriggles. There is starting to be that pressure where if they grab a kill somewhere, they can go and just rush that dragon. So right now, Curse needs to play kind of defensively. Shyvana, the same exact thing. They're getting kind of close there as well.
Yep. But I think for the most part, this is a lot of farm. We're on the 8th minute here. We're in the 9th minute, and there still hasn't been a first blood. There's been kind of a few, nothing really huge in terms of attempts here. But right now, this is a little bit of the passive game. This is the passive farm, and there is a real threat though. If for AP mids, if either one of them gets super farmed out of control, Ari, you never want to see farmed. Nijaki, Karthus, you never want to see farmed. You really don't want to ever see him farmed. But I don't know. There's still quite a bit of the game to go. Laning phase, it's still early on. you got Vlad, you got him top lane. He does have the revolver now. He did get a Doran shield as well for a little bit extra regen, for a little bit extra health, for a little bit extra armor, and that's something fantastic to have against someone like Aurelia. Ignite. Zig wants the Valkyrie in. He's trying to make something happen in on the elements, but he will walk away. He will waddle away from that one. Back on over, and Pixel, he's floating around. There is a ward now from Dynamic in front of the Dragon, but Paradoxical, he's a little bit far out. He wants this kill on the Night Jackie. The Spirit Rush is going out, and was just out of tower range. Just actually did not get the tower aggro from that one, and not a whole lot of damage happening from that exchange.
Yeah, kind of a weird try against Night Jackie. I think he was just Paradoxical, just wanted to see how low he could get him. And he's like, if I get him, kind of low, then maybe I can go in for it. Not really getting any damage onto Karthus. So Karthus is going to be safe for a while. We'll have to see if they start to pressure the Dragon. I think they're going to have to wait until Paradoxical's ultimate is up. So probably not a Dragon rush until a little bit after 11 minutes. So we'll see if that happens then. Aurelia so far has been doing pretty well in this top lane, but Vladimir is actually out farming her. So Vladimir getting the Dorans, that will help him out in lane. He doesn't have to worry about the burst quite as much. Slows down his build, but he's out farming Aurelia, so that's not much of a concern.
But even then, even with the farm difference, gold globally between these two teams is pretty much bang on even. Pixel getting that speed boost, but not going to make an attempt there onto Cop. And now you got the mids, and you got the jungles. They're all here right in the middle, trying to make something happen, and still the tower trying to be defended here on Curse. Paradoxical in his pushing has really actually put a good chunk onto the mid-tier 1, and right now West Rice getting whatever harass damage he can onto Zion Spartan in top lane, and the farm going to be continuing for Vlad. He dings. He's going to be hitting level 9. Once he hits level 11, he's going to have that second level into that ult, and he can put a whole bunch of damage. But there you go, he's making an attempt here. Ult going down. He is pulled. Zion Spartan, can you get out of this one? West Rice going down. The regen from both of these teams. Wow.
Yeah,
that was like a matter of milliseconds there.
Barely getting the first blood. I can actually take a look at how long it is, but actually,
no. We got
the Saint Vicious with the Nintendo. They pick up that kill. The wall off on Paradoxical, but he is going to be able to get out of there.
Yeah, I think wow, that was really close top lane though. But Night Jackie is still, there is still a threat though. There is still a real threat from a kill from Ahri. That charm can do a lot, but just gonna go ahead back off. But man, that was a race. That was just a straight up race.
They
top
both
lane.
have so much damage, and Vladimir a little bit later. Oh, Cop going down
wow,
the quick burst.
Oh, what?
Yep.
How did the turret aggro not grab Zig? Jeez.
Oh, well, Pixel was actually tanking it, and Pixel just barely got out at the end.
Wow.
So, yeah, really nice job from the two of them picking up that kill and the silence as well to shut down Ezreal. But yeah, both Vladimir and Aurelia have a ton of damage. Now that Aurelia has that Wit's End, she already had the 2 null magic mantles, but now with that Wit's End, she should be able to bully her around a little bit. And actually, Curse is the first to draw blood on Dragon here. So Shyvana coming down has the Oracles, and then with Karthus, they're going to be able to kill it very easily. West Rice is bottom, so this is a free Dragon for them. And now Saint Vicious can start to apply that map presence that map control that we saw the last game. Put pressure on Dynamic with that Oracles, and just kind of bully them around a little bit.
Nintendo, he has an Oracles for himself as well, and Paradoxical did actually finish the DFG, so it's a lot of extra burst every time he's going in for the kills with the ultimate when it's up, and should also be 11 pretty soon, so should be getting that second level in that Spirit Rush along with it.
Yeah, so the Dragon helps keep Curse in it. Just 1,000 gold behind now. They have a really nice team fight team. They have a really strong late game. Both teams actually have a really strong late game. But in the meantime, Dynamic, they're positioning themselves for this bottom lane. Actually, they know that the blue is about to spawn, so they might grab that. But they could also force a tower dive. The turret is very low.
That thing's so low. This is going to be an easy kill. But, Cop, Elements, they know, they have a feeling something's up. Paradoxical. The ult is up, but not going to use it quite yet. I think Elements and Cop have cleared enough distance to stay safe, but the tower cannot say as much for that, though.
Yeah, and so Saint Vicious coming top. Him and West Rice, they should be able to take down this turret, but they're going to have to watch out where Dynamic is going to continue pushing from there. They should be pretty safe. The mid's already down, the bot's down. It's not very likely that they'll be able to pick up a tier 2, and actually Corki has gone back, so they will be safe there. Zion Spartan coming up to defend this, so they aren't going to be able to lose, or they are going to lose that tower there, so nice job. And we'll see. I mean, this is really nice for Dynamic, being able to exert this map presence, being able to take those 2 towers, because Ari has the mobility. They want to get kills. Nocturne has the mobility. They want to get kills. So taking down the towers, they have that advantage.
Who doesn't want to get kills?
Oh, yeah.
Kills are a wonderful thing. St. Vicious does see Paradoxical here, but Pixel's not too far behind, so it wouldn't be in his best interest to go for it and just the grab from Pixel onto the Wraiths too. Yes, you can get last hits with the grab. It does do a little bit of damage, and yep. Might as well. You're there. Paradoxical also going to be grabbing their own blue buff and returning back into the jungle in enemy territory to look for some more pressure to push out the mid wave as well, and try and deny Jack a little bit. But Karthus, he does have his Rod of Ages, and he's not. Now he's starting to fall behind. He's about 25 creeps behind. Ari's also got an assist on her as well.
Yeah. In the meantime, Dynamic coming and taking this blue. So nice job there, but Vladimir is still going to have to be very careful, because Aurelia could just kill her any second that she wants to. They are kind of split, though.
Yeah, Curse, they got some okay positioning here. I mean, they have the bush to hide in, but Pixel with a grab, does not manage to get St. Vicious. Paradoxical with the Spirit Rush, trying to make something happen there, but unfortunately will not. And a little bit of free pot shots from Cop when he can.
Chasing after Zion Spartan a little bit. He is pretty low in mana, so he doesn't really have enough to kill him. The pool, he is going to be fine.
So trolly with that pool. That pool can just get you out of so many sticky situations. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the pool is really nice. It's not the best of play against, but Zion Spartan so far he's been doing really well in this lane. He has a nice CS advantage against West Rice.
Oh wow, there's the ult going down onto Aurelia. Can he get the extra damage you need? The Ignite is down there as well, but St. Vicious is here. Just deflect him away. West Rice will be okay, but just barely. Paradoxical. Can you get the positioning you need? You realize there is the flash. Foxfire going to be more than enough. The charm not going to hit Shyvana.
She actually used the Deathfire's Grasp as well, which was probably not necessary, but
no, she didn't.
That's fine. Yes, she did.
No, the timer's not up.
Okay, I thought I saw it, but okay, well, I guess not. Maybe I guess it's just a different animation for the Foxfire.
Yeah, there's some fancy effects on that skin, man. There's a lot of fanciness going on in there. But then again, you paid that money, you might as well go ahead and get it. Exhaust going down unintended. Fear Tethers going on to St. Vicious. Okay, they know.
Yeah, so they're able to back off. But a nice 4-1 advantage for Dynamic. That said, Curse, their late game is very strong. They do have to watch out for the Vladimir, though. And Vladimir, Vladimir Ari, it's a really nice combo having that double AP. They have quick single target burst damage. They have, the AoE sustain. And they have okay dragon control, not great. Nocturne does give them pretty good dragon control, so they can kind of pressure that a little bit later. Not at this point, clearly, but we'll have to see what they kind of do with it. But if they take, I don't know, we'll see if they continue pushing or not. They probably can get some nice ward coverage. If they can kill St. Vicious, that would be nice. Get rid of that Oracles, because he's just he kills a lot of their aspirations, because he has just so much map control that they can't really get the ganks that they would like to.
Oh god, I love that. I love that honk. That amuses me from Blitzcrank every time I hear that on that skin. But yeah, the entire first rack of Curse's towers have been taken out from Dynamic. Tier 1s in all 3 lanes are now down. And Nijaki, St. Vicious, now they're just looking to push the wave in exchange. But there's some oracles to clear in your own jungle, Saint. And your team's pinging them out, so you might want to go ahead and take care of those as well. But that's the thing, both junglers have oracles. They haven't died with them on yet, so whichever jungler dies first here in these next few fights could actually be putting their team at a huge disadvantage without that.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. In the meantime, Ezreal will get some pot shots off, just barely out of range. They do get to clear some wards. They are kind of grouping mid. I don't know, it's going to be tough. Both teams can easily stall, so the fact that both teams stall means that it's a much more buff control game. It's going to come down to blue should be spawning shortly, actually. The last blue is around 13:30, so I guess like in another 30 seconds. It might be like 19 minutes. So we'll see.
Nijaki actually getting caught out very low from Paradoxical, just trying to get into his own jungle. But he was spotted out. Unfortunately, will not get out there in time. And now pings are going down in front of Dragon like mad for Dynamic.
Yeah, and that's what happens in this kind of game. Neither team can push into the other. So it really just comes down to Dragon and buff control. But when the 3 towers are down, that's what Dynamic wants to do. They want to be able to just pick off kills, engage on someone, get that initiation. Vladimir is coming up, so it is going to be a 4v5, but he's not quite here yet. Blitzcrank could get the pull.
Pixel, he's out on front. He does not get the grab that he needs, but True Shot Barrage going down, putting some damage on everybody. St. Vicious right down in the middle of the fight. The Nunu ult trying to get some damage, and Zig is the first one to go down, followed by the Blitzcrank. But Nijaki is back up. There is the ult. And Cop, along with that damage, does get the kill on the Paradoxical. So that was a Dragon and 3 kills.
Yeah, in Karthus, his only contribution was his ultimate, but it was a level 2 ultimate, so it was pretty strong. But yeah, just that follow-up damage, having the initiation, from people like West Rice and St. Vicious was huge. St. Vicious, I swear, everyone is just underestimating how much AoE damage Shyvana does, because it seems every single fight, Shyvana just absolutely wrecks. Like, it's insane, how much she does. And it's a lot of magic damage, too, which is, you think of Shyvana as a physical champion, but it's magic damage. So
yeah, I would still love to see a Shyvana actually picked in competitive play and built with the Tiamat. Because I've never actually seen that combo, but I've heard about it, and I just kind of want to do it myself,
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of overkill because she already has nice AoE. The thing is, if they're all going to be standing next to each other, then it doesn't really matter.
You've already won.
Yeah, they're already going to go down. And if they're not standing next to each other, then you've just wasted an item. But it is kind of cool. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about,
Blitzcrank with the pull. Will he be able to get this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So if for those of you who don't know what we're talking about here, Shyvana, the Q, I don't know the exact mechanics on it,
in dragon form.
In dragon form, it's a cleave. So it hits everyone in front of you in dragon form. Tiamat's, it will cleave on every single person. So it's multiplicative effect. If you hit like a dragon form cleave on the entire team, if they're all clumped up, you can do like 5,000 damage or something like that instantly.
So basically,
it's really a stupid combo.
When the Tiamat procs, it also does percentage damage to everyone nearby. So you're doing damage to everyone nearby, multiplied by however many people you hit nearby. So it's
they're engaging on design
there you go,
the
St.
quick
Vicious.
turnaround. Nintendo gets the fear of St. Vicious has to get out of there, but the quick damage, he gets the fire breath. They do have to back out of there. The wall gets them out, and so West Rice and St. Vicious are going to be okay. Science Spartan, he can heal back up, but actually Ari coming in, the Deathfire's grasp, bursting down West Rice, but he doesn't quite go down. They chase her down. Paradoxical grabs the kill.
Nice
and then,
charm.
Yeah, getting out of there from Nijaki, but Nocturne with the follow-up. Can he get in? He actually engages on Nunu just to clear some distance, and Blitzcrank chasing after Nijaki.
Nice pull, front to Jackie right there. He's trying to get away, but now just followed a little bit too far, and Nintendo will follow up. Unfortunately, ult is not quite up, so Paradoxical will live here.
Yeah, so Aurelia just barely hitting the cooldown. He ran into the second round of Foxfire once it hit the reset, and Ari was able to activate it again. But I thought for a second he was going to be able to do it and just get right in there, pick up the kill, or just throw off the Equilibrium Strike. She was so low.
Yep. So Dynamic, they're in a pretty good spot right now. 4K ahead in gold. We're on the 23rd minute right now, and it's just a matter of what Curse needs to do in order to just take a huge commanding point in this game. Granted, yes, Baron is a huge opportunity for him, and they have all the damage necessary to even get a quick Baron steal. Even like Elements can just get some quick flashes in. Shyvana ult in. Consume Smite could do something there. But the thing is, though, Nijaki, the thing about a Karthus is he's most dangerous when he's farmed up big time. And right now, Ari is pretty much beating him huge in that aspect. And also getting away free harass, such as that.
Yeah, Ari is definitely doing a nice job. And all around, Dynamic is out farming Curse right now. So we'll see how that kind of factors in. But the burst damage from Dynamic, it's really threatening. But Karthus, you always have that late game. They have, really nice team fight control from that aspect. Aurelia coming down, Blitzcrank sees Blitzcrank, so they should kind of back off here.
Yeah, Nocturne is up top lane, Corky's down bot, Ezreal's looking to defend down bot, so Curse could make a 4v3 happen in mid, but it's going to opt to sit back let them come to tower and see if they can't make something happen there. Just let Dynamic push, let them have what they want. But Nintendo being singled out there top lane, the Ignite going down on him. He does manage to get the fear, but West Rice is still in pursuit. St. Vicious is here to wait for the flash, and there's really not much of an option for him to get away from here. Zion Spartan is trying to help a little bit, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, so that's awesome for Curse. They need to kind of take up a defensive position. And when team fights come around, Curse, they really don't want to be the initiator. They want to be reflexive and just allow Dynamic to come right into the Nunu ultimate, right into the Karthus wall, where they can get all of their AoE. Everyone will clump up from Dynamic, and then, they'll get some quick burst damage. But being able to pick people off, that's always a good thing.
But that was actually a huge kill. That was actually a much bigger kill
huge
for Curse because that's an Oracle's also now down. Right. So we'll have to see if Nintendo actually decides to rebuy it once he pops up too. So, but that's vision reduced. That's vision reduced for Dynamic.
Yeah, so Curse being pretty aggressive here. They kind of want this tower. They should be able to take it once Ezreal gets here. So no one from Dynamic is nearby. They will be able to grab it. Nocturne will be coming up.
Oh, Nijaki soloed out DFG, doing huge amounts of damage to Nijaki. Does get killed pretty quick there, and the tower still doesn't go down. Nintendo out in front, going for the ult, very aggressive on the West Rice. The rest of the team is here. There's the pull from Pixel. Now Nintendo needs to get out of there real quick. Very low, could be going down. St. Vicious, there you go with the pickup. Cop flashing out, needs to get the safety, but St. Vicious will also go down. Their Oracles is now down, and now Dynamic is in pursuit. I don't think they're being able to get another kill here, but they can't push the wave, and they can't secure mid-tier 2, or Baron's looking pretty tasty. They can get that too.
Yeah, better yet, let's get Baron. So really nice job and nice initiation. Paradoxical just has so much burst damage, and it's funny to me imagining back when they changed Ahri a little bit, the fact that her late game damage is so much better when you get these items like the Rabadons and whatnot. So, not being tanky doesn't matter when you play her like an assassin. She's able to just absolutely crush Karthus. And then the follow-up from Nocturne forcing the engage. He did go down, but he gave his team an opportunity to pick up those kills. And with Karthus going down without really accomplishing anything, that's always a good thing. And that's kind of the issue with Dynamic's team that they knew coming in, was the fact that there's Nocturne and Ahri can both take down Karthus very easily before fights happen.
Yeah, that DFG is just paying so much for itself. You saw how much damage is just immediately shred onto Karthus. That was a very quick kill, and that's what Ahri does. She gets in your face, she bursts you down, and she takes you out of these fights immediately. And not to mention, as I mentioned before, in terms of AP mids, Ahri's just farming so much better, and Karthus has a much bigger bankroll than Karthus, and is just performing overall better. But there is still time to make something happen in this game. It is a 5K deficit. It is nothing impossible to come back from. But, however, Dynamic does have Baron. They're definitely going to be able to get a tower or two here.
Yeah, the concern is that the Karthus wall, with the AoE that they have in the clearing, they can clear waves very easily. So it is going to stall off Dynamic a little bit. But if Pixel can get engaged, that's going to be nice. They do have to watch out, though, that they're not putting themselves into a trap. But actually, Curse, they're comfortable with having both St. Vicious and West Rice split pushing, so they're going to get some damage on both the bot and top tower. And Corki, in the meantime, is taking red, so with that AoE, they can stall for a little bit, but Curse going to actually exchange decently out of this, unless Paradoxical just jumps right over this wall to kill everybody. Yeah,
that is a very real threat. There you go. There's the initial burst. DFG not being used quite yet, but waiting to see what kind of kills he can get. Nunu ult going down as well, but there you go. Ezreal does go down pretty quick. Cop is just now out of the picture. Zion Spartan able to finish Nijaki, and the ult in desperation not really going to be able to do a whole lot from Karthus. Mid-tier 3 should also be going down pretty quick, just taking it outright. However, meanwhile, top lane, West Rice is still pushing, but St. Vicious is on his way back to defend because Zig has actually muscled him out as now pushing towards the tier 2 and bot.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they already know, all right, we have this free inhibitor very easily. Corki instead just pushes bot lane, so he has it pushed
let's rendezvous. Let's rendezvous tier 3 bot. Everything will be fine.
So
I can go ahead and take care of it easy.
So as a result, they don't have to deal with the fact that they're backdooring the turrets because the minions actually have damage reduction, but they will be able to grab the second inhibitor. Paradoxical actually jumping in. Quick damage from Ziggs as well, but they aren't able to pick anyone off, so they will want to back out of there. The Foxfire, he is able to get out of there, and so 2 inhibitors down for Dynamic.
And Baron still has a good minute and a half left for them to just go ahead. They can just swoop on the top lane too if they really, really want to. It's 2 inhibs down. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. for Dynamic at this moment. The wars in the base will be cleared, but yeah, Dynamic is looking very strong. Got a nice like 9K lead in front of them as well, and they're this is definitely a huge like 360 from 360, 180, 720. Let's get some math going. Huge change from game one.
I'm not sure what equations we're going to be
That's
pulling
degrees.
out of my reference textbook.
It's just the
Pi of the inverse limit of from 0 to infinity.
they've done a 180, then a 360, and back to another 180 to another. I'm trying. There was anyway, whatever. Old YouTube video. Probably I'm the only one who's ever seen. Anyway, going back to the rest of the game though, Dynamic's still in an amazing position here. Granted, yeah, Curse does have the wave clearing capabilities. They can stall. They can wait until the Baron buff is expired. Stall out until the next Baron comes on up, but it is a long wait. Nintendo has rebought the Oracles. Zion Spartan also pushing top lane. Pixel out in front. See if he can catch anybody out. West Rice go for a grab, but Cop is here too. Paradoxal not too far behind. Can get a quick burst on anyone who's brazen enough to come and try and face the rest of the team.
Yeah, and the big thing is that Curse, they don't have enough damage right now.
No.
They don't have a good means of getting Karthus to engage on them. So because Dynamic, Ahri in particular, can kill Karthus and then be very safe. They don't have to walk into this wall and all this AoE. It's just very difficult for Curse to win any fights. The Blitzcrank hook, that actually might work well for Curse if Karthus gets right in the middle of the team. Though, bursting down Karthus ever is always going to be a good thing for Dynamic.
So yeah, with all these creep clearing capabilities, with all of Curse here, so it's going to be making it a little bit hard for Dynamic. Plus, Baron buff is now down. The Baron itself should actually be respawning in a little bit over 2 minutes from this point too. So if they can just keep Curse here, kill time, keep the pressure going, they could definitely take the tier 3. They could take the inhib, or just kill enough time until Baron comes up. There you go, though. Saint Vicious, he wants in. He wants these kills. Goes in straight on Dragon Form. Nintendo Dex is almost completely taken out of this, but there you go. Karthus, he is down. The ult, will he be able to get anything off of it? Unfortunately not. West Rice gets brought really low. The orb will not be able to reach. I really thought that Karthus was going to get like a double or a triple there from the ult.
Yeah, I mean, he did get a couple in the low. Oh,
Ooh.
Ezreal not quite able to do enough.
Little shave.
But he can poke them down, and they're a little bit too low now where it's kind of difficult for them to defend this. In the meantime, actually, the Nexus is going to go down, so West Rice, he can't defend it. That turret is going to go down. Nunu and Ezreal are defending here, and actually Pixel very close to going down. The Ignite should get him. There it is, the flash
nice.
from Cop actually to finish it off, but the Nexus is down. And yeah, Curse or Dynamic can easily just push right in and take the Nexus their next fight.
Yeah, while Curse is there, busy defending and just trying to just stave off this push. Like, quick, Nunu, eat all the things, eat all the minions before your Nexus goes down. But yeah, now Curse they have to kill time until the inhibitors respawn. Someone has to be here to defend us at all times. And yes, granted, they do have great wave clearing capabilities. When Baron comes back up, someone has to be in the base to take care of all that mess. So already, if they want to contest Baron, they're going to be at least one man down. And Dynamic should just be more than easy to go ahead, sweep in, get the Baron, push on into the base, and get the win on this next push.
Yeah, so it should be up shortly. Or they could also just split push Nintendo, and he can always just threaten that Nexus, and then if he needs to engage on the top lane. Top lane is below half, so it's very quick it would be very quick for Dynamic to take it. We'll see whether or not Curse can hang on at all. But yeah, the inhibitor going down, so yeah, Baron is going to be up any second out there.
It is. Yeah, and Curse, they're not in a position to go ahead and defend this. Even then, like Saint Vicious is all the way down bot lane, trying to push the wave out as much as possible, killing time, killing those super minions. Inhibitor in mid has respawned. There you go. There is Baron for rest of Dynamic, and they should just go ahead, swoop in, push right up the mid, and they should be able to just take it on this push.
Yeah, and so they will be able to push, grab this inhibitor, Nijaki, with the minions coming in, he just doesn't have enough damage, and that's kind of something that a lot of Curse is lacking, clearing minions, or clearing damage for the Maker minions. Oh, wow, Cop going down very quickly. Paradoxical able to get out of there. Nocturne actually ulting right in, able to pick up the kill. No, Cop barely gets out of there, so Curse is reflexive. They're able to win this, but then backing off, and the AoE from Vladimir very quickly takes down the rest of Curse. A couple of them are low. Ziggs trying to come in there, get the kill onto Karthus and Corki, or on the Cop. There it goes. So they pick up the double kill and then come onto the Nexus. Dynamic, they pick up game number 2. So there it goes. 1-1 Dynamic versus Curse.
So this series is going to be going to game 3. Good, man. Good stuff, man. Dynamic really coming back after that game. Game 1 was not one of the best showings.
Yeah.
But they came out here, Nijaki and mid got so shut down.
Yeah, and that was the concern, picking the Karthus against the Ahri and Nocturne. That's just it's really difficult.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised when they picked it. They actually didn't know the Ahri was there yet, but they already had the Nocturne. They already had a really aggressive team, and aggressive teams tend to do well against Karthus. And the Ahri works because Paradoxical, he plays Ahri all the time. It made sense.
Yep.
It was just a strong overall pick. So we'll have to see what's kind of going on. Karthus, it needs to be more of a reflexive pick, I think. And I think people tend to overrate his late game because his late game is very strong, but if you can't force the team to come into your wall or into your AoE, like when they have a short range team, then it's going to be difficult for you to win those fights. So we'll see what goes on game number 3. We will have it up shortly right after this commercial break.
Yep, be back in a second. Game number 3, Curse Dynamic. See you in a moment.